Here in this vlog, I'd like to do some self-forgiveness. In other words, I'd like to have a look at my relationship to having fun. And so within having a look at it through the words that I speak as the self-forgivenesses, I release that relationship from myself through the process of declaring what it is that I am in fact forgiving. And so through and as that declaration process, as the words that I speak of and as the self-forgiveness statements, it is a point of coming up with a solution as a physical application process of actually walking the point of releasement within my world and reality. And so therefore, here I start the self-forgiveness. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to participate in the design of and as the fear of survival through and as sight, sound, touch, smell, taste, as movement. Okay. So, in other words, what I am saying before I continue further is the phrase "I forgive myself" is a phrase meaning I release myself from accepting and allowing myself to participate in the design or in the pattern of the fear of survival, meaning that me as the mind, I utilize survival techniques to keep me in and as energy experiences. What is an energy experience? It's basically an energy experience is an experience where one is utilizing emotions and feelings to define that experience, and so that becomes the experience. The energy experience is the participation and the utilization of emotions and feelings to make that experience more, I guess you could say, alive. But it is not really alive. It is an illusion of liveliness based on how one has allowed themselves to conform to the mind and how it calibrates or adjusts the intensities, which are the energies of emotions and feelings that one experiences, and one believes and perceives that intensity of that experience or those emotions and feelings to be alive based on how one has developed their programming or their patterns or design within and as emotions and feelings. And so it becomes a point of survival. It's trying to keep that definition of self through the participation and utilization of emotions and feelings intact. Because what would one be without the utilization and participation in emotions and feelings? That is a question that can be theoretically answered with a beautiful answer, but as far as my experience within this process of taking my position as the authority of who I am, releasing myself from the relationship of energy, which is the intensity of emotions and feelings, and how I have conformed to the integrity thereof of what emotions and feelings represent and stand for and as, which is just self-interest. So it is a process, essentially. So within this process, through and as sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, and movement, basically what this meaning is that when and as I am having fun, I am utilizing all senses, such as taste. I'm creating an experience to food, basically. If I eat out with my friends, I'm creating an experience to food, meaning that there is a certain experience about food, a good feeling that comes up when and as I am socializing with my friends. And so that food is one of the products that define the intensity and the integrity of what it means to have fun. And so also with smell, there are certain types of perfumes that brings about certain memories of points within one's life about a particular relationship in the past, and then one suddenly becomes possessed by that memory and starts speaking or communicating within and as that memory, and one can prove or identify this for oneself when and as one begins to or smells directly or indirectly a certain perfume, and then within and as that smell, there is a memory that comes up, and there is a feeling or emotion, which means that physical paraphernalia, as the perfume triggered a personality within oneself, or a reaction within oneself, where one conforms to that reaction and starts speaking as the reaction, as being possessed by it. And so sight, all these faculties of the physical, of and as the physical senses are utilized when and as having fun. Because what essentially is being had when one is having fun are the experiences that comes from memories within oneself. Trying to balance out equations where one, probably either had negative experiences in the past or no positive experiences within the past, which balance out into positive experiences based on how one has structured or conformed oneself to the mind as energy. And so within this, I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to doubt my own authority. And so within me doubting my own authority, my own standing, create an authority within it as energy, within it as experiences, utilizing my emotions and feelings to create and construct my welfare, my integrity as an individual, yes. And so within this, I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to blame my memories for giving me bad experiences or no experiences where I experienced positivity. And so with having no experiences, it's basically also a bad experience, essentially. And so with me conforming to the bad experiences, I have to feel like I have to balance it out through positive experiences so I can become fulfilled, you know. And so, I mean, look at the word fun, for instance. You know, you have F-U-N, and if you take away that diagonal line within the N, you have the word fool, you know. And so the diagonal line would represent one's instability, where one is leaning on the L's, and that the L has become one's stability point, you know. And so fun is full of BS, you know, unless one redefines fun into, you know, that's what's best for all. So I will continue. Thank you. I have to go. I will continue in a moment. Thanks. Okay, I am continuing with the self-forgiveness, starting with the excuse dimension. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to make the excuse that I have to survive within and through having fun. If we get rid of the diagonal line as our unstable point, we have the word fool. And the word fool means that I perceived myself initially as being empty. So within this, that is my excuse, that I am empty and I need energy. And so within that, I create experiences of fun. And so I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to make the excuse that I have to survive within and through the construct that I defined as fun based on energy experiences. And so with that being said, I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to justify me not taking self-responsibility to stabilize myself to a point that I do not exist within and as an instability, but that I in fact stand as the directive principle of who I am. So we have a look at the letter N, you know, and if we see ourselves as the diagonal line that connects the two vertical lines that make the letter N, and we see that the diagonal line is ourselves. And so if we stand up, or if we straighten out that diagonal line and make it a line that is perpendicular or parallel to the two other vertical lines, this is a point of standing rather than allowing oneself to be dependent on a vertical point as a point of stability. For example, if we see pillars within a particular facility, these pillars are constructed vertically in a way that supports a particular construction, a particular structure, as the particular place that is dependent on the vertical pillars' integrity, their strength. And so basically we become the strength through and as standing as the directive principle of and as who we are. So now we get to the commitment, basically, which within the previous interview about the word fun, through redefining the word fun, we redefined the word fun as a point of assisting and supporting ourselves to come up with solutions in every moment in order to stand within as a comfortability within it as what we are in fact doing within our world and reality. Because currently the definition of fun is defined within and as having or possessing particular specific sounds or experiencing thereof, particular specific sounds, tastes, forms such as people and places and things, and aligning ourselves within and as a combination of these constructs that creates a particular setting. And so within us conforming or aligning ourselves to it, we possess an experience to these constructs. We possess an experience to a particular person. And so within having fun, we create a comfortability within that as a point of enjoyment. But we are in fact able to redefine enjoyment and redefine redefine comfortability, or rather redefine fun from a point of having or possessing an experience in order to experience a comfortability to becoming the directive principle within and as our lives, to a point that we provide our own solutions within and as a particular circumstance, and within those solutions we create a comfortability because we know in fact how to direct ourselves within and as that particular moment. So that is in fact the commitment. And so with this, I realize that there is no experience, no positive experience with doing this. It's actually, I experienced this actually, it is a resistance, interestingly enough, a resistance of actually coming up with solutions to support myself, to become a better individual, because I've become so used to energy as experiences that to create solutions for myself is like a 180-degree turnaround. And so therefore I can also assist and support myself within this to see, realize, and understand what is in fact best for all, in such a way that everyone is able to duplicate this point of providing solutions for oneself, be able to walk that principle into it as a comfortability. Because currently, if having fun, as we currently define having fun, actually it was best for all, we would have a changed world, a changed society, a changed culture or cultures. But that is in fact not the case. And so it is not a stable point from the perspective of a solution that is able to be lived and duplicated in a way that supports each and every one of us to become better individuals within this world and reality, from the perspective of educating ourselves and learning and growing from that, in fact. And so, there will be a resistance within and as myself, which is a point of actually or an opportunity to direct myself in those situations by seeing, laying out the structure of the circumstance or the event, laying out the structure and having a look at how that particular circumstance or situation can how or what would be the best way or method or principle to exist within that circumstance or that situation and become supported by it, and also educate others within that as well, because every situation or circumstance is in fact ourselves. And so why not change or give that circumstance or that situation the opportunity or why not to give that situation or circumstance yourself from the perspective of assisting and supporting oneself, and also assisting and supporting all involved within it as the circumstance, in a way that the circumstance becomes a reflection of one's integrity as an individual. And so because currently we are indirectly and directly creating circumstances and situations that reflect abuse and that reflect corruption and atrocities and stuff like that. And so it is in fact feasible to direct the situation or circumstance from the perspective of providing solutions wherein that particular specific situation or circumstance reflects one's own integrity as an individual, and thus within and as that reflection of integrity, there is in fact an evolution going on within that, or an expansion or a growth or a positive, for lack of a better word, positive change, and the positive is not based on feeling, but rather what would be best for all within that particular situation and circumstance. Thank you.